Yo, what's up everyone? So I'm finally making a video on explaining growth so I've scaled 2 SaaS companies now to like, in total last month I did 550K cash collected, which is pretty cool. And by the end of summer, probably will be doing close to $1 million a month, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna kind of talk about how do you scale a SaaS tool and how I plan on scaling a brand new SaaS tool from 0 to 100K a month. I'll break down what the tool is, what the plan is, and how you can kind of do it yourself. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll answer them in the next video. All right, cool. So a little bit about me. My name is Arib. I've built 2 successful SaaS tools. This is Musicify. It currently has 4.1 million users. We currently make around like 170 grand a month with this tool. Then I have another tool called Creo, which is a product that I built with a bunch of influencers. There's one called Musa on TikTok. This guy, Musa Mustafa. This is actually a video about our product. Very big influencer about like this like AI TikTok stuff. And then we have another guy named Daniel. So 2 influencers on TikTok. So I worked with them on this product, CEO of this product as well. This one is I think so far this month done 330K cash collected, and ending the month with like around 400 grand. You have like 6 more days, something like that. So I'm not worried. So two cool products. I actually launched Creo like 3 months ago. So in the span of 3 months, we were able to scale it from 0 to 300K a month, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to cover a few things. One, I'm going to cover how to kind of go about building and scaling a product. 2, I'm going to cover the next product that I'm building, how I plan on scaling it. And then 3, I'm going to actually show you like the literal game plan of like how you go from making $0 a month with SaaS to making 10K a month in less than 30 days. Because I actually don't think it's hard, right? Because first of all, I'm able to launch these companies and guarantee the fact that I'm going to make 10K in the first day. Like I'm very sure the next company I launch will make 10K in the first day. And that's just because of the processes that I've set up now. So first I'm going to explain a few things. One, I think everything nowadays is about attention. How are you able to capture people's attention? That's one really important question, right? People think it's very hard. Or like, how do you get 10,000 people to check out your website? You pay influencers, you do this, you do that. But inherently, it's a deeper question. It's like, how do you capture people's attention? And that's what I think about before I build any product, right? I didn't build Creo until I knew that I could capture the attention of 1 million video editors. The next product I'm building, I'm not going to build it unless I know I can capture the attention of a specific audience, right? So that's one thing, right? Building this thing called a distribution advantage. Before you even go build your SaaS tool, how do you figure out how you can get that specific tool in front of 1 million potential customers, right? Like the classic example that I use with people is like, if I had a website that was selling dirt, right? And I branded it properly and I made it look really sick and it was like kind of like an exclusive drop, like dirt bricks. And I was able to get 1 million eyes on it. And I had a supply of 500, I guarantee it will still sell out. Because if you drive enough traffic to something, you'll still make money, right? And if you're able to sell dirt, you're able to sell your SaaS tool, as long as it's like decent, right? If you're able to sell dirt, your conversion rate will probably be very low, like 0.01 or something, but some people will buy that dirt. SaaS tools will have a much higher conversion rate. So that's like a classic example. If you drive enough traffic, things will convert. Number 2 is like a lot of SaaS founders, I realize, come to the conclusion like, oh, I have 10,000 users, or I have 200 users, or I have 400 users, and people are not paying, people are not doing this, people are not doing that. And usually their first assumption is like, oh, my product is just bad. Like I have 10,000 users and it's not growing to 20,000 by itself. My product is just bad. And that's usually the wrong assumption. 90% of the time, I think a lot of people in SF like think about it that way. It's like, all right, cool. Like my product doesn't have that much usage or users, my product's bad. And I disagree with that. I think distribution is a big part of it. If you get 1 million eyes on any product, you'll know very clearly if your product is bad or good or whatever it may be. So that's one, right? Understanding that you should have a distribution advantage before you go and build something. By the way, the reason I'm looking down is because my camera thing is down there, like the display of what I look at. So yeah, cool. Understand having a distribution advantage. 2, once you have distribution advantage, figure out what the product is. So I'll use an example, right? Let's say my friend has an Instagram page about NASCARs, right? Like just has 1 million, 2 million followers, posts about NASCARs. Cool, very sick stuff. Any post he does will get like a few 100,000 impressions or maybe 1 million impressions, whatever it may be. All right, cool. Your friend has a distribution advantage in NASCAR, right? What can you do to make money from your friend's distribution? You could potentially make a website, like an AI NASCAR generator, right? And if your friend's down to post it on his Instagram, that's free revenue for you. Or maybe you give him a little equity, right? Maybe he's the biggest guy in the space. Maybe if he continues to post about your product, you'll make a decent amount. So that's one thing to remember, right? If you can figure out like who the big influencers in a specific space are and get them on board on your product before you even build it, you should probably go build it. So it's like the example for Creo is like, all right, Musa has this huge audience about clipping. How do I convince him? I'm like, hey, look, like you're promoting CapCut. What if you promoted your own product? Let's just say you promoted your own like video editing product. Would you be down for that, right? He's like, cool, yeah, I'm down. So I'm like, all right, cool, I'll build it. And I know that if I build it, I'm getting it to at least 1 million people. Because he gets way more views. One of his videos last week has 8.6 million views, right? So I know this guy's gonna hit. This is a private jet video that we took in Paris like 3 weeks ago, where we booked a jet, and that has 1 million views. Every video that the guy does is converting like fire. And this is even before, like a few months before I knew him, and I saw this guy's getting like a few 100K, a few mil each video. So I'm all right, cool. I'm down to build this because I know I can get it to 10 million people. So that's like step 1. Make sure you do that. Once you have this distribution to 1 million people, what you're gonna want to do is like, that's basically a pre-seed to a sense, right? It's like maybe you give Musa equity or you give your influencer a little bit of equity, just give them something. And after a month, you make some revenue. you're probably gonna make a lot more than 10K, depending on the size of the market you're in, the ticket size, the LTV, a bunch of things. But let's say like you aim to make 10K. When you make that 10K, most people's first mistake is now they spend that on themselves, or like they spend like $2,000 on marketing, right? Or like they just keep the rest in the bank. That's not what you're supposed to do. As soon as you make that 10 grand, you should figure out, okay, cool, I have Moose on board. Maybe I give Moose a little bit of equity, whatever it may be, to keep him to continue posting, whatever it may be. But now all the revenue I'm generating, I have to figure out how to turn every dollar into $2, right? And that's via other influencers, right? How do you find other creators to pay? How do you find other people to put on retainer? For example, for Musicfly, we have about 35 accounts that we pay every month a set amount, and they post about us every single day. And that's how we make like 150 to 180 grand a month. And I think in total, all those retainers come together is like $5,000 or less than $5,000, and our return on that is much more. We grow by 15%, 10 to 15% every month for the last 12 months, which has been great. Musicfly's growing, Crayo's growing even faster, right? Because essentially what we've done is took the Michael Jordan of a specific space and onboard them into our product. That's like another benefit. So it's like, if you can get the Michael Jordan of a specific space to wrap your product, it's also very easy to grow that, because it's like, let's say Michael Jordan is wearing your shoes, then all the kids that want to be like Michael Jordan are going to want to buy your shoes, and you have leverage to negotiate deals with like the new NBA All-Star that comes in, and he's the new Rookie of the Year. He's probably going to be wearing Michael Jordan's shoe, and you probably have leverage now to work out a retainer deal with this guy. Hey, we'll give you like 5K a month to post about our product. So just think about these things. I think if you get like the Michael Jordan of specific space, that's pretty cool. But yeah, all right, cool. So explaining a little bit of what a distribution advantages, I'm probably make like a whole video explaining like how I go about thinking about them, how do I negotiate deals, all that. But once you have a distribution advantage, you build a good product. Once you have a good product or a decent product, after establishing the fact that you can get it in front of 1 million people, you launch it, right? You launch it, get a few 100K, maybe get a few 10. Let's say for Crayo in the first month we did like 90 grand without any spend on marketing, which is really cool. But for example, for you, maybe it's different. Maybe you make 10 grand. Take that 10 grand, put it right back into distribution, and also start thinking about long tail distribution, right? Like SEO. How do you start thinking about SEO 1 month in? For example, Musicfy today grows by around 4,000 to 6,000 new signups a day. I'd say around 3,000 of that comes from completely just from SEO. People look up AI Drake, like for example, if I look up like AI SpongeBob or something, right? One of the first links, or the third link, is like Musicfly, right? And we pretty much do this for like a bunch of keywords. And so we grow a lot by SEO, because SEO is like a crazy. Essentially, what happens is at the beginning you start doing. And this is like a whole like another video like explaining SEO, but the TLDR is like you start with doing blogs early on. Do a blog every single day consistently, good content. We work with an agency. I think I'll drop like a growth cheat sheet below. They're in there. They're pretty good. A shout out Mizuki Demir. So yeah, work with an agency or do it yourself, whatever's easier for you. Just do a blog every single day for a little bit, and then eventually what you want to do is programmatic SEO. That's where Musicfy is at now. So it's like we spin up programmatic pages for specific domains, so like AI Drake, AI Kanye, whatever it may be. We spin up pages for that, and now we collect a lot of users from that, because when someone looks up AI SpongeBob, they're pretty high intent for that specific keyword. So you can convert them, and the conversion rate in those types of users is pretty high. So yeah, once you have distribution advantage, you spend the money that you make on distributors. Once you make that money, it's kind of like a cloak wheel, right? It's like, all right, cool. You first establish that you have an advantage, then you build a product, then you make your first 10 grand, take that 10 grand, put it back into the product to distribute, make your first 20 grand, take that 20 grand, put it back into the product to distribute, turn it into 30, put it back into the product. It's just a cloak wheel until it's like, all right, your MRR is continuing to grow, your LTV is really high, and now you should start taking money out. Yeah, so that's like the basic formula. In there, you want to sprinkle in a little bit of SEO. There's a bunch of K-factor growth as well. Like, for example, how do you incentivize your users to become your distributors, right? I think a service that I use is called Tolt, right? It's basically an affiliate system. How do you like, the best type of growth is like when a friend tells another friend about your product, because it's very high intent. It's like, hey, like, for example, the reason I'm wearing an Oura ring is because one of my friends was wearing an Oura ring, right? And it's like that K-factor is very high. So figure out how you can establish that. And a lot of that comes from affiliate models. So figure out how to sprinkle that in. So there's like a bunch of shit. But I'm going to kind of cover my plan with this new product. So over the last 3 months, I've been acquiring a bunch of like smaller SaaS tools. I've been building like a community for SaaS founders. It's called MoneyUp. It's pretty cool. Every like Saturday or Sunday, we'll do like a live call. I'll spend like 2 or 3 hours just talking to people and answering their questions. I think it's pretty helpful for a lot of people, so it's pretty cool. But one of the benefits of building the community is I get to see a lot of like young founders and people that are building like SaaS tools. And if I like something and I know I can distribute it better, I'll offer an acquisition. I think there's 2 companies that have like offered acquisitions over like 25 grand, and they're making like less than, they're not even making any money. This is a company kind of like that. This was originally called Flashcardify. It was making $0 or like it was like making like $10 or $15, something like that. Nothing like noticeable. So I bought out the company and I rebranded it. So this is the company's called now, Study Potion. Holy fuck, that was bright. Yeah, the plan for this is pretty simple. I'm gonna be working with a few of the biggest like I guess like the Michael Jordans of the education space. I'm gonna like not click on the screen; it's too fucking bright. So I'm basically gonna be talking. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see. So I'm gonna actually be talking to a few of the influencers in this like space of like, hey, ed tech tools and stuff like that, and figure out how we pretty much negotiate a deal with them to promote our product for free. And the way you kind of do that is like, all right, cool. First of all, I have relationships with them, so that's why I can do that. That's why I'm talking about like distribution advantage. I have a distribution advantage. I know these guys personally, so I can negotiate these deals that most people can't. So that's one benefit. Once I negotiate these deals, I'm gonna basically have these 2 influencers. I'm gonna share this in the next video. I'm gonna have these 2 influencers kind of really push it out very loudly on their audience. Once it goes pushed out on their audience, I'm gonna have a certain amount of revenue. That revenue is gonna go to other creators to push it out into their audiences, and it's like that whole colloquial I kind of explained at the beginning. So that's the plan with this product. I'm gonna plan on launching this next week. I have a ton of stuff to do this week, so I've been very busy. But yeah, that's my plan with that. I guess like another thing that I want to talk about is social engineering. I know a lot of people won't have a distribution advantage for the most part. And that's okay, right? You may not have a friend that has 1 million followers. You may not have a person that you know that can get in front of X amount of people. I guess like one thing you should do, first of all, to even meet these people, you have to have some sort of personal brand yourself, right? You can't just be DMing people from like an account with like 3 followers, no track record, wherever it is. So I think building a good social presence is really important. 2, I think it's very easy to actually build like these distribution advantages yourself. One example I'll use is like, I started doing Twitter like last week. In a week, I think like I can kind of share, like I literally started tweeting again like 8 days ago. And this is kind of what it looks like 8 days in. Every single day I'm doing like 250,000 impressions. Today I did like 480. It was pretty cool. That's because I made a lot of people mad on Twitter, which is actually the way you actually engagement form. So one of the tweets I said today was X has the softest people I've ever seen. So now you have like people that really like this tweet, people that don't really like this tweet, people that will react and like, yo, you're wrong, like, oh no, you're a baby, whatever it may be. There was another tweet that I wrote like that today that hit the algo perfectly. Just fired a designer, needs someone that wants to design products for millions, software and hardware. I actually got a lot of really good people that hit me up from this tweet, but a lot of people just didn't like it, right? They're like, oh, like this kid has no humility. This tweet tells me everything I need to know about you. And this actually gave me a lot more exposure, right? If I wrote a boring tweet where it was like looking for talent, looking for next level talent to help us design, would have done well, would have gotten a few hundred likes, would have gotten a little bit of distribution, would have done well. But like I've essentially 3x or 4x the distribution of this tweet. I think this guy, Brett, the design guy, he kind of like did a quote tweet, which I thought was funny. Yeah, and like to an extent, like some of these guys don't like it, but 500 people or 480 people like the tweet. 480 people that agree with it. 400 people, and like the thing with building a distribution advantage, or like I guess like a following or a personal brand, to remember is like you don't have to like make everyone your friend. The reason people will follow you is because you will say things that resonates with them, and that's the type of audience I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build an audience of people that are forward thinkers, building sick companies. That actually don't deal with bullshit. Like I'm like a pretty no bullshit guy. If you meet me in person, I don't like to waste time. I'm pretty direct. Like if even the companies that I run, my feedback is very clear. Like, hey, this can be better or this can be worse. Usually it can't be worse. So I'm like, yo, if something's bad, you're gone. And that's like the culture that I'm trying to build, which is like I guess like the explanation for this type of tweet is, when you're first starting out and you're building your company, I think it's important to nurture your environment and surround yourself with like good players. But if people slack off, like, you know, point them back in the direction or whatever it may be. We're now making close to like $6-7 million a year in profit. And I'm not trying to like build a company that's very small. I remember a quote that I was first told when I was really young was, if you want to build a big company, your job as a CEO is actually one thing. And that one thing is, how do you keep the success rate of your company the highest it possibly can be? And anything that can alter that, you should kill right away. Or it's like, if there's any cancer in your company, you should kill it right away before it affects any part of your company. And if someone's slacking, we can get rid of them. And the reason for that is like, we're not at the stages of nurturing a company. We're not like starting out. We don't need to build this like type of culture. We're at a stage where we're making $6-7 million a year. We can pay for good talent. We expect good talent. If someone's not living up to their expectations, we find someone else. And that's completely fine. So that's I guess my perspective on this week. But this is like an example of social engineering, right? You play both sides of the coin. One side of the coin is like, people actually really like this. The other side is people don't really like this. And now these two types of people are both interacting with your post. And that just doubles and triples your engagement. Like I think like while we've been sitting here, I've gotten like 9 notifications, right? And yeah, like this guy's hating, right? Like, yo, just saw your profile, weird guy. Does it affect me? No, not really. I think today alone I've gained like 400 followers. So there's a thing to remember here. People will criticize, and that's completely fine. But make sure you can play both sides of the coin to like kind of speed run your way to build a distribution advantage. I think by the end of the year, I can easily scale my own Twitter to like 100,000 followers, kind of by doing the same thing that I'm doing now, just a little bit more extreme sometimes here and there, and just doing cool shit. So that's one thing. It's very easy to social engineer people. Like a lot of people on this tweet won't even know that they're tweet responding, and that's what I want, right? Like I actually am planning on a little bit of hate. I want that. That's going to drive up my distribution, my engagement. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just don't be an asshole, but feel free to say things that's on your mind, right? So that's that. I guess like anything else that I want to cover. First of all, this is my first sit down video. So it's gonna be long. It's gonna be bad. Hopefully we'll get better. But that's my plan. I'm gonna take this tool, work with a few influencers. I'll tell you who the influencers are in the next video. But yeah, I also have some really big announcements I'm gonna announce on Twitter over the next I guess 3-4 weeks. Yes, that's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm also launching another company at the same time, so this is taking some time. I'm launching 3 companies at the same time. One of the other companies is I'm launching this product, which is like a physical product. I'm doing the same formula. It's physical and it has a software element, and I'm working with a pretty big influencer in the specific niche this product is in. So if you guys know what this product is, feel free to comment it below. But yeah, that's kind of my explanation on how you would go from 0 to 100K a month. It's very simple. All you have to do, find a distribution advantage, build the product for that, then spend all the money you make early on distributing again and again and again. And make sure in that you sprinkle in a little bit of like affiliate marketing and a little bit of like SEO. Those will affect over a long time. And then yeah, you'll earn 100K a month. Like it's that literal formula. And I've done it a few times now. I'm gonna record the whole cycle this time. I'm very much covering a very like long lifetime of a company. But I'm covering it very quickly. So yeah, that's kind of like the high level. Next video, I'll kind of go over what specific questions everyone has. And like I said, every Saturday or Sunday, I host this thing in my Discord. Feel free to join that and ask any questions. But yeah, so this is cool. Episode 1, shout out to Siddharth, who I bought the company from, and keeping him on as a minority partner. This thing will be hopefully launched by the time you guys see the next video. Shout out Siddharth for building this. Pretty cool. And let me share the stripe. So this is the stripe for this product. It's made pretty much no money. I think like $500. I don't even know if it has any MRR. So we can just check. I'm pretty sure it doesn't though. I'm not sure. I haven't really checked. Churn revenue, LTV. Okay, I guess it has $70 in MRR. Cool. Yeah. So it looks like some people churned. I'm not sure. But this is like, I've done zero marketing for this at all. This was like Siddharth was doing this before I even acquired his company. So yeah, I'm gonna show the whole process. If you have any specific questions, ask me them in the comments. I'll answer them in the next video. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm very excited to show you guys the whole cycle. Also, once again, I apologize if the video is bad. I didn't script it. I'm just kind of sitting in front of my camera. But yeah, I guess I also got this really cool laser today, so check this out. I actually need to wear, I'm supposed to wear glasses when I shoot this, but it's like a very powerful laser. So check that out. It's very, like it gets very hot. So if I point it at something for too long, it'll catch fire. But yeah, I guess like another thing is figure out how you can be a laser, you know, how can you get everyone's attention very quickly. That's the video, 25 minutes long. I'll edit it down a little bit. I'm not gonna really plan on like making really high quality videos. That's not what I care about right now. My goal is to hit $1 million a month by the end of summer. So 90 days and counting. So you guys will watch it. Chat soon. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'll drop some stuff in the bio. See you guys soon. Peace.